receive your financial breakthrough. This is for someone that has been praying for a financial breakthrough, an overflowing of their cup, okay? However, I want to remind you what the Lord has said. A lot of people pray for an overflowing cup, but reality is not a lot of people can handle the responsibility of having an overflowing cup. There's also a lot of people that are extremely selfish. So if God was to overflow their cup, they would not care about anybody else but themselves, right? The Lord is going to bless you, but the Lord wants to remind you that the instructions that he gives you pertaining to this overflowing cup, comply to these instructions, okay? Many of you guys, you will come out of debt, and I talked about this in another video, but it was more so like spiritual debt. But some of you guys are going to come out of physical debt, okay, financial debt. And the key is being obedient and doing what God told you to do. Remember in the book of Deuteronomy, and it talks about, being the person to give and not the person to borrow, and the Lord putting you in a position to be the lender and not the borrower, right? So what does that mean if you are the lender and not the borrower? That means that when God blesses you financially, you are to do exactly what God has told you to do with the resources and the funds, okay? So if you are in debt and the Lord says, hey, I'm going to bless you with this much amount of income, that means that you have to comply to whatever God has told you to put your 10%, 20% in, okay? Whether it be charity, whether it be sowing a seed. It could even be like if God says, hey, I'm going to bless you with this, but I need you to put this much amount towards that debt because I want you to get out of debt, okay? Because the Lord is trying to put you in a position to where you don't have to borrow, that you are the lender and not the borrower, okay? And what does that mean if you are the lender, not the borrower? What does it also mean if you have an overflowing cup and God tells you to help others? In Deuteronomy, it talks about also, giving back to people and helping people financially and not, wanting something back or not requesting something back, but doing this from the kindness of your heart. And again, this is why many people, although they pray and ask God for an overflowing cup, some people don't receive this type of blessing because the Lord knows their heart and the Lord knows what's going to happen when they receive this overflowing cup, okay? But in your circumstance, the Lord is going to bless you with this overflowing cup, but you have to keep the loyalty and you have to comply to the instructions that he has told you to comply to. Because remember, whoever can be trusted with a little can be trusted with much, right? And also remember, this is Luke 12, verse 48. From everyone who has been given much, much will be demanded. And from the one who has been entrusted with much, much will be asked. Entrusted. Much will be asked, okay? So if God can trust you with a little, he's going to be able to trust you with more. So God is just reminding you that when this financial breakthrough takes place, remember what he said to do. Don't just start putting all your eggs in one basket and putting everything towards that. No, once you get the financial miracle, okay, God said I have to pay off this debt. God said I have to sow this seed here. God said, please be obedient to God, because remember, that alone is a test. When God overflows your cup, that alone is a test as well. Okay? So I want to remind you of that, and congratulations. I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Perfect.